I chose this master's due to the interest in urbanism that I've had since the beginning of my studies in architecture back in Philadelphia. And I wanted to expand on these interests, and I found the master's through the Polytechnical webpage, looking at masters in Italy because I was living in Rome a year before I started here in Milano. And I found it a very informative website, and also the people that I started to speak with were very informative. They were responsive. They sent me the material, I sent my material. We had a fast communication. So it just made the whole process a lot easier. I expected to study and analyze different types of cities and the different types of approaches into different scales of project. We got into interesting projects, but I expect also, for example, for the main teachers to be there to give us more lessons themselves. In reality, it was more of getting people to come in and teaching us, which was also a great experience due to the fact that all these possible professions that come to and specify on urbanism, and you can see really how many fields it takes to actually build a city or to actually propose a project for a city. So in reality, it just made my mind get into context, really how big a project can become. What I got from the masters was this knowledge from different cultures, being that the whole master itself is composed from international students. So there's the chance that you might not even speak the same first language. So you really learn about how culture affects architecture, how culture affects the cities, how culture affects really the design process as a whole, that you get from just the way that architecture or urban design goes about. And this really affected the types of projects we did, I think, because they were basically group projects. So we could interact differently than what I've had before. Even as a student in the United States, it was at least always the same. Here it kind of changed because the groups varied and you think differently from another person. So then I think culture has a lot to do with that and how you become an architect, or the way that you design and how you grow into that. So this was, I learned a lot from this. And also learning from because of the Madrid phase and the Italian phase, different teachers, different ways of thought, and their experiences and how they give you their experiences into the course was really different, and it allowed us to learn, I think, a lot more in a more complex way. Professionally, I believe for now was the internship that I took with Alberto Garuti's studio, which it also allowed me, I've always had this question, which was, what can I do with architecture that is not in an architectural studio? And I think that this master's also allowed me to research or search this in a way, especially with this internship at Garuti's studio, and how one can be so spatially aware and not doing architecture at all. And just the types of projects that you can add into just a single street. So professionally, I guess it opened my eyes into a completely different world of design that I wasn't really aware of and want to continue to explore. And I would recommend this master's to someone that wants to continue their studies in urbanism. It's just a great way to meet new people, learn from different cultures, actually, because of the Madrid and Italian phase, and the European design, which is so different from that of South America, United States, Asia, Africa. And especially Europe is so big and so small at the same time. There's so many places, and it's so much easier to travel to these places and understand these different locations, and to be able to compare and see what works, what doesn't. So I would definitely recommend it.